July 2010, 7 American surfers met in the Indonesian port city of Padang, western Sumatra. Leading the expedition were renowned surfing journalists Matt and Sam George, joined by myself, documentary filmmaker Stacy Peralta, as instructors for the 2-week intensive course affectionately dubbed Riding Giants.
At first it might seem like kind of a crazy idea to gather university students from all over America, have them fly to the far side of the world, meet in this tiny little Indonesian town of Padang, board an 80-foot pinisi and sail for the wild western islands of the Mentawais.
The students, none of whom had yet traveled to Indonesia, were shipping out for a real-life adventure. On this academic expedition, they were going to be graded on the experience and not just on a curve.
What's unique about this class is that the students are graded on 2 criteria. 1, participation and guts, and 2, they have to produce a full-length feature magazine article that we get published in the international media.
I'm really going to stress the discipline of writing a travel story. There's a template. It's to get the reader to feel, but more importantly, it's to get the reader to see. They're going to receive their grade on a roughly 3,000 to 3,500 word travel feature that hopefully will combine everything they learned, the discipline, the structure, the tools of articulation.
In addition to their academic work, the students were delivering much-needed school supplies to remote island villages, many having seen few, if any, foreign visitors.
This is a little tougher entry here. The bridge has been broken down since the last time we were there. In the black water that you're going to be walking across, you want to keep it away from your feet as much as possible. There's hookworms, leeches, bloodworms. You're going to want to watch that. So be very, very careful walking across this little bridge.
When we first put this program together, we thought a lot about how we would get these students to interact with the local Mentawai people. And of course, in some of these remote villages, you could be providing aid work for the next 2 centuries, okay? And we started thinking, that's a little unwieldy. And then we sort of hit on this idea of, wouldn't it be neat for the students to bring something to the students in these remote villages?
They've never seen a white person.
Look at this village they got going on here in the middle of nowhere. Well, to us, at least, in the middle of nowhere. To them, it's right at home.
It might look like a ramshackle village, but in almost every case, the most precious building in those villages is the school. They really value education.
So we specialize in delivering school supplies. It's low impact and high result, and non-culturally disruptive way to really, really contribute.
Kids are psyching, and that's pretty cool because just giving them a couple of books, some pencils and whatnot, and smile on their face is pretty priceless.
If you go into some of these classrooms and you see those battered wooden desks and those ancient chalkboards that have been used for decades, and you think about the impact that bringing a notepad and a new pen and a new pencil and a pencil sharpener so they don't have to do it with a machete.
A lot of times these are really remote communities that don't have access to a lot of things because they're just so remote, and their notebooks have just been reused and reused. But the aid work that I've been more really focused on is doing a lot of the medical work, and it's been really good learning how little things can help, like how hydrogen peroxide can really, change someone's chances.
I got this medicine in Singapore from a tropical diseases doctor. Can you going to inject some medicine into his nose? But I'd like to ask permission if that's okay.
At home, I've done Habitat for Humanity where you go and build houses and whatever, but I haven't dealt with people hand to hand.
Ingy, the little boy with leprosy. You can see it in his eyes. I mean, he is scared, but he's so brave.
Hand to hand.
But he's boy with leprosy.
Really focused.
I want him to know that he gives us hope in a world where we're given way too many things. So.
we achieving great things by helping a little boy that has the beginnings of leprosy, or, you know, are we changing the world? Well, yeah, one person at a time.
Changing the world one person at a time. In this floating classroom, that ethic applied to the students as much as anyone.
It's been totally life-changing. I mean, not just my writing, just my outlook on life. Like going in and seeing these different cultures, seeing the people less fortunate, and just traveling around trying to help them. I think like I'm gonna go home and have a totally different outlook on life and the things around me.
Every teacher cared enough about the people that they were educating and about the lives that they could potentially touch, I think they would put more effort into doing something like this.
In this floating classroom, it became clear that we were all working together for more than just credit.
I keep forgetting that this is like a college class, you know, like this, I'm getting credit for this.
There's something in the face of a young surfer when he kicks out of the greatest wave of his life, and you see that look in their face, the adrenaline, the excitement, but it pales in comparison to the look on their faces when they go into the villages and those kids run up to them and hold their hands and look into their face, or when they sing for them, and that natural rapport when they're playing football together, and that feeling where they all trail down to the beach afterwards and wave goodbye, and there's no artifice in it at all. It's just sheer joy. And when you look at their faces, not even the greatest wave in the world can compare to the joy that they feel.